So this would be an interesting version of Hug Life. I know I've been gone for like 2 months. I left social media. I stopped watching the news, stopped watching TV. I think the last video that we did, if you guys remember, was around the time that my car got smashed a couple of months ago from hit and run drivers that basically trashed my car, and then they hired a lawyer and were trying to get out of it. Since then, I've just tried to focus on family time, and then during that family time, I started a new business where I was watching these videos of nurses and doctors that were complaining on social media and concerned on social media that they don't have access to PPE, which were masks and gloves and things that they need to treat patients during this COVID-19 pandemic. And as someone who always responds to crisis and tries to figure out how I could help with crisis, I looked at that issue and I said, okay, here's some things that I can do to help. And so I started a company that was providing masks for people that need them. And to my surprise, that thing took off and ended up doing over $1 million in sales in its first month. And we were able to hire people who were also looking for a job, because if you remember, after my car got hit, I was looking for a job as well. Once flights got grounded and there was no schools for me to go and speak at, when schools weren't in session, I was really concerned about how I was going to provide for my family. And so in the midst of making these Hug Life videos here, as you guys see, I've got 5 kids in some of those videos. I was like, what am I supposed to do now? And so I was genuinely concerned about that, and was fortunate enough to have this business that I created that not only helped my family out, but helped people who needed those supplies, but also helped employ people. And so during my time off of social media and focusing on family and focusing on growing that business, just recently, one of a video or a meme that I was in had gone viral, and so many people started tagging me, and so I started glancing again at social media. And then I came across this George Floyd video, which still at the moment I refuse to watch. I think from being gone from social media and all the negativity in the news for the past 2 months, this is not what I want to jump right back into, looking on social media at such a video that everyone is talking about. Yesterday I spoke in length to my friend Officer Frunzy just about how he felt about that video, and other officers have reached out to me, other activists have reached out to me to get my thoughts, and I've let everyone know I don't want to watch that video. I saw the caption of it with the cop's knee on a man's throat, and I know that my heart is not prepared to watch that right now at the moment. But the outcry from people on my Facebook page and in my Instagram, people who know that I go to riots and protests to try and create a sense of calm and understanding. Everyone knows that a soft answer can turn away wrath, and that's what I try and bring, is try to bring some peace and calm to those situations. But when we've been locked down for so many months here, and that's what people wake up to, I think the anger and the concern that people have is justified. And so I'm still trying to find what is the best way for me to address this situation. I don't like seeing that people are now looting and rioting in their own community. But when you think about the rates of unemployment and the number of people that are suffering financially, and then they have to see situations like that, their backs are up against the wall, and it's almost what you would expect, or how you would expect people to react in a situation like that. But I also want to caution people against destroying their own community. We've seen that repeated so many times in history, as well as if you watch in my video, my documentary called To the Frontlines, where I talked about how being a boy growing up in LA and watching people destroy our own community, how much that affected us. It impacted us in the community. It didn't affect the people and the reason why we were protesting. And so I hope that people will think about that. And if I do end up going out there to Minneapolis, where this incident has taken place, I hope that I could be able to get through to the people in the community there to let them know, look, I understand your pain. your frustration, but things only get worse when you destroy your own community. I've seen that there have already been recent reports of other people who have lost their lives just in the midst of this protest. And that's not what a protest should be about. People being shot and killed or even hurt in the midst of it. And it almost feels like, is this a Ferguson all over again? Is this a LA 92 all over again? And so we have to be very careful in how we approach these situations and hope that justice will be served in the right way. I think the recent tweet that I saw from Donald Trump, one that I was actually both shocked and proud that he responded to this George Floyd case, saying that he's assigned to the FBI to make sure that swift action would take place there. And so I think rather than us rushing to judgment, just knowing that people that are in power that can do something about it are stepping in to do something about it. And, I've talked it over with my team, and my brother actually just reached out to me late last night in the middle of the night, wondering if we're going to go out there. And again, when I'm coming off of family time and I haven't really had the time to review the video because I've just been so focused on a number of other things, I think even without reviewing the video, we're likely going to go out there maybe tomorrow, maybe at some point this week if things don't calm down, if it looks like they're only escalating. Hopefully we can reach out to some of the community organizers that are out there. If any of you are watching this video, please reach out to me. I'll make sure that I respond to those emails. I've seen that a few police officers out there have already reached out to me on my Facebook page, wondering if I'll be coming out that way. I think we will. I think we're going to do that and see whatever we can do out there on the ground. Again, it's kind of tough for me right now, coming off of just stepping away from all of this for the past few months. I mean, as you can see, those past few videos that I was making here in the house, I was enjoying that time with the family and that time with the kids. And I realized that over the years of responding to protests and traveling every week to speak at schools, I was missing a lot of time that I should have spent with my wife and my kids. And, our Easter video where we're throwing candy all over the living room, like I really enjoyed that and enjoyed that, spending the time here in the house. And although I'm not in the house as much right now, because we've been able to employ so many people now with this new venture that I've been working on, but I don't want that to take away from the work that I've been doing with the Free Hugs Project. And so I'm going to continue to make videos and respond to things. I think that break was just a necessary break, but even right now it's time to jump back into action. There's a company, Omaze.com, who I actually just released a campaign to try to raise funds to get me back into action. So I appreciate you guys at Omaze. I appreciate all of you guys that checked up on me during the couple of months that I've been gone. I know some people were really concerned about what happened. My friend Minerva at Avis, Mike Rust, one of the biggest supporters of anything that I've done with the Free Hugs Project over the years. I know that he was reaching out to other people. When I was talking with Officer Frunze last night, he said, yeah, Mike Rust was looking for you and asking about you. And so I appreciate that there are people who have been very concerned about my health, my safety, and just where I've been. And as you can see, I mean, I've just been locked down and really trying to appreciate this quarantine period. Grew my hair out, grew my beard out, and just started focus on time here in the house. But I feel like work is calling me again, and so it's time to grab the Free Hugs t-shirt, gas mask, bulletproof vest, whatever it's going to take for my team and I to get out there and start talking with people on the ground. I know that as individuals, there's only so much that we can do in such a heightened and chaotic situation, but I think the conversations that we can have with people of influence there on the ground, activists and community organizers, police officers, maybe even local politicians out there, people that we can connect with to try and bring some calm to this situation and hope that justice will be served in the right way. Again, I have no judgment on anything about like what has happened, but I've been seeing so many of these posts that people are saying, have you seen this one and have you seen that one, where I saw that there was a man who was bird watching in Central Park, and some woman threatened that she was going to call the police and say that she was being attacked by an African American man. And it's like, this stuff has to stop. History should not continue to repeat itself, and lessons aren't being learned, and people are doing the same things over and over. But I don't think that the way that we respond to these things is in rage. I know that there are a lot of people saying, I'm okay with the riots, or I'm okay with the protests. I get that. I get that people are really hurt and they're frustrated. But I hope that they would also take a step back and think about the number of lives that could be lost, the number of people that end up going to jail, and the number of properties and things that get destroyed in our communities because we lash out in anger, rather than what we can do to rebuild our communities, even with that same anger, even with that same pain, that same concern. But there are ways that we can rebuild our communities to prevent these things from happening, rather than saying, let's destroy our already impoverished and destroyed and oppressed communities. Let's instead build them up. So I plan on going out there to help with that. So thank you all. Again, I'll probably start making Hug Life videos again soon. All the kids are actually asleep here in the house right now. And you know, we've enjoyed the time during lockdown, but it's time to get back to work.